Hello, sending my love from Vienna, Austria to wherever you are in the world. I am working on Junk Journal January prompt for today, which is the word pocket. I am linking all the prompts down in the description box below. And this, as you might have seen from the time of the video, is a bit more lengthy because I feel that sometimes I'm not able to do simple spreads. I'm so happy when I can, but most of the time things just kind of get out of hand and more complicated than I anticipated. But that's just what happens. So I'm just gonna go with it. So I decided to use a technique that I am copying from the wonderful, now I forgot the name, Gail Augustinelli. I don't know if you know her channel. She has an awesome channel. Love her so much. So I copied this method of making a pocket from her. So I just took an envelope and now I am tracing the shape so that I can cover up the, basically, would you call this the back side? Yeah, probably the back side. So that back piece and also the flap with some book pages, because that is the only side that is going to show, and the rest is going to be a pocket and a tuck spot, actually 2 in 1. So here I'm just making sure my measurements are somewhat precise, and I'm inking the edges, and once you see me folding it over the page, you'll understand how it serves as a tuck spot and a pocket, which is pretty cool actually. There's so many things you can do with envelopes, so don't throw them away. Just keep all shapes and sizes and colors, because there's so many things you can do with envelopes, and it's great to recycle them. So here I'm just gluing down the pieces that I had cut out. Okay, now you see when I put it around the page how it's supposed to work. So on the top I can put something in, and also on this bottom piece, kind of like a tuck spot. So you can use both of those, which is actually why this whole video turned out to be so long, because I needed to put things both in the tuck spot and the pocket. So I had to make those, and of course I didn't just make simple things, I had to make complicated things. So that's why this whole thing is taking so long. So now I'm just putting down a different paper as a background, because I thought that lined paper was just a bit too plain for my liking. And I had to do it for both the front and the back of the page, even though I wasn't really working on this back page, but since I was going to glue down the envelope, this was my only chance of doing it before that's glued down. And hopefully I will do something with that page for another prompt, or just, you know, do whatever. It doesn't have to be a prompt always. So now came the point where I could glue it down, and I forgot that I can't just glue down the whole thing because it was supposed to be a pocket, right? So I tried to get rid of the glue again as best as I could. And now I'm just taking my tacky glue, which has a finer nib, and I'm just going around the outer edges and just holding that down and just clamping down that one edge to make sure it's secured as much as possible. So next I had to make the 2 tags for the 2 spots to tuck and to put in the pocket. So I just took my marbled beige cardstock and very quickly cut 2 tags to size, so that once they're inside you could see both of them. So the lower one had to be smaller than the one I was going to put in the top. Okay, so that's perfect. And so now what I'm going to start with this longer one, and what I wanted to do was, in case you've seen the spread from the previous day, you might know how excited I was about that spread, doing it in this like collage style. And since I love that so much, I wanted to take another opportunity to try it again on a little, on a smaller surface of this card. And I will link down again below where I got the inspiration to do a collage like this. It's an Instagram account called Les Curiosités de Jenny, and you can find her there. Please check out her spreads. They are so amazing. So I'm starting off by just making a background with various scraps that I had, and I'm using scraps that kind of work together, that do have some interest but are not too dominant on the page. So I'm just using this liquid glue here just because my glue stick was empty and I was too lazy to get up and get a new one. That is the only reason. So now I'm just trimming off the excess, and that is the background. So now I wanted to again take out the animals that I had cut out. So I spent this morning cutting out some animals from a few pages. So the ones that I'm putting on the left are all kinds of birds that I had cut out yesterday for the spread I did. And the ones on the right are the new ones that I did today, and they're all kind of in the same category, more or less. They're all like either wolves or dogs or dingo, or I think there's one bear as well. And they're all awesome. I really love them so much, and I'm so glad I came across this. So this is the encyclopedia I was using to cut them out. There's plenty more, as you can see. So I have lots of fun ahead of me. But as I said yesterday, if you don't have any ephemera, if you don't have magazines or anything where you can cut things out and you want to do collages like this, go see Jenny's Etsy store, which is listed in her Instagram. She has amazing ephemera packs. And don't worry, I'm not getting any commission out of saying this. It's just that I'm trying to help out if you're kind of stuck and don't know what to do and want to try something new. But I'm also guessing that you could find enough images around in magazines or books, but please don't cut up any nice books that you have. This one I had gotten secondhand very cheaply. So now I'm just playing around placing the images in a way that I thought would work. So then I had decided on those 4, and my next step was to add some washi. So I'm doing the exact same steps that I did yesterday with the bird collage. So now I'm just choosing a few washis that I thought would work nicely, and they're all very like understated, black and white, and I think there's one that has like a pink star in it, that one. But the rest is all black and white, and there's no, they're all black and white. So they wouldn't be too dominant. I must say, since this is only my second collage, I'm not brave enough yet to work with a lot of bold colors. But that is my goal, to try that as well, but not for this one yet. So now I'm just placing those around the page more or less randomly. By the way, I just wanted to say I appreciate your comments so much. I'm getting such lovely comments, and I have a whole bunch of new subscribers, so welcome to all you guys. I'm so happy that you find my videos inspiring and that you're getting ideas for your own spreads, because that's what it's all about. You're welcome to copy anything I do. That's why I'm making it. I want to help out. I know that we're all stuck at times for not knowing, you know, we don't know what to do, but we want to do something. So I look at other people's YouTube videos for inspirations, and I'm so happy that you can look at mine to get some inspiration too. So it's all about sharing and exchanging ideas and just doing something, no matter how small it is. Just do something creative, because it just, yeah, I think it makes a world of difference. And this is, for me, this is kind of like my meditation. I'm in another world when I do these spreads or any kind of creative work. It just puts me in a whole different place, and it's all good. So here I'm going through my little stamp album that I had gotten at a flea market, and I'm trying to pick out some stamps that would work color-wise. I'm not looking so much at the motifs, but more what would work with the colors. I love having these. I love putting these in spreads, and I always have a like, I really love working with stamps, because not only are they so cool because you can, you know, they all have a history. They've all been somewhere. They've been sent from A to B, and they've been around, and now you're using them again, giving them a second life, and they're so pretty. A lot of them are. And also what makes me really fond of them is the memories I have with them. This is something I used to do with my dad when I was smaller. He used to collect stamps, and he had a whole lot of stamp albums, and he used to collect them, and then once he had a whole bunch that he had cut off from envelopes, we would spend an evening or an afternoon at the dining table, just soaking them and then drying them and then putting them in the albums, and it was such a nice way to spend time together. I really loved it. So here I am just gluing everything down. First the stamps, so that I knew where they had to go, and then the animals on top of that. And I sped this up a lot because there's no point, it's boring. Okay, so that is done. And then I'm going to try putting it in the pockets, and when I do that, I realize that there, did you see how those legs get stuck? So I realized that I couldn't just keep it like this, because I would ruin it by taking it in and out. So I decided to put some matte medium over it, and I have this one from Golden, but you can use any like Mod Podge. I like the matte finish. I don't like when it's glossy. Also, when it's glossy, a lot of times it sticks, and I don't like that. So I'm just rubbing that over with my hand. First of all, because I have a better feeling of where I still need to put some, and second of all, because I didn't feel like getting a brush dirty and then having to clean the brush. It's much easier to just wash the finger. So I really like doing it like this. And now, of course, I still had this second card on the bottom that I had to do something with, and I didn't want to do another collage because, number one, it would have just taken too long. This video is already very long. And second of all, I was afraid it would take away the interest from the other cards, and I didn't want to overload the page with too many images. But then again, I wanted to put some kind of interest on it. So I decided to use another part of the book page as a background. And then I thought I would just put one image on it, and hopefully that wouldn't overpower the whole page. So I'm just gonna try that after, of course, I'm inking the edges. And now I'm just gonna choose one of those images, and I wanted the colors to work with the other one of the wolf, so I didn't want to take anything brown. So I decided on this white one because it did have some interest, but it wasn't very dominant, so I thought that worked really well for my purpose. And I almost ripped the poor guy's leg off when I glued him down, poor little fellow. And I'm trying to save the leg. I think it was okay. And so I also carefully added the gel medium so that also his leg would stay intact, and the rest of him as well, when I put him in and out of the pockets. So now I just let them dry for a little bit, and now you can see they are done and they are nice and matte. So just inking that up as well, and all that's left to do is to put it in the pockets. And that's the spread for today. Oh, that was a tough one. Oh, forgot the date. I always almost forget the date, so I'm just adding January 18th on the bottom there, and then that concludes today's spread. So thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.